Hey guys, so today we are looking at the 6 habits that will ensure you have a smooth breastfeeding journey. If you've been a mom before, you know how hard it is, how hard it can be at the start of your breastfeeding journey. If you're a new mom, pregnant for the first time, wondering what breastfeeding is like, or you're already a new mom and you're facing so many challenges with breastfeeding, well, this video is for you. Make sure you watch it to the end. So hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. You can call me Salma. So I'm sharing 6 habits that you need to get involved in from the very start of your breastfeeding journey to have a smooth breastfeeding journey. So the first thing to do the moment you give birth to your baby, as long as you can, is skin to skin contact. And this, actually, most of the time the midwives help us with this right away. So the moment the baby comes out, they usually get the baby and put them on your chest before they even cut off the cord, before they even clean the baby. Like, usually they first put the baby on your chest, and this is a time that you should very much embrace as a mother. I know you're probably feeling so tired at this moment. Well, if you haven't been there before, you will see. So you'll be feeling quite tired, quite weak, quite you can have just so many mixed feelings, but this is a time or a moment that you actually have to embrace. So make sure that your baby is lying on your chest and they are completely naked and your chest is also open. So have them lie on your chest, hold them. Their tummy should be on your chest, their chest should be on your chest. So hold your baby close, and this is what we call skin to skin contact. So when you do this, it has so many great benefits, because at this moment your breasts are now just preparing to produce breast milk. But when you do this skin to skin contact with your baby right after birth, it sends a message to your body that, hey, the baby is here and you need to provide breast milk for the baby. So in one way or another, it helps start your breastfeeding journey. It helps start the breast milk coming. And then 2, your baby will actually be getting antibodies from your skin into their skin, which is going to help them. They just knew they are so delicate at this moment, and their immune system is really low. So when you do skin to skin contact, you're helping boost their immune system, you're helping regulate their sugar levels. Basically, it has a lot of benefits, but most importantly, it increases your breast milk supply. And therefore, this is not something you just do right after giving birth. It is a habit you should continue doing even when you go home. Make sure that maybe mostly every after you're done giving your baby a bath, before you dress them up, please do the skin to skin contact, okay? Anytime you can, please do it. It really helps increase your breast milk supply, and then it also has a lot of benefits for your baby's health. That's the number 1 habit you should take on. The second habit that I would love to share with you guys today is feeding your baby on demand. Feeding your baby on demand. I know there are so many theories about how often one should breastfeed. I've heard of stuff like breastfeed every 3 hours, breastfeed every 2 or 2.5 hours. But well, the best thing to do is to breastfeed on demand. Every time your baby shows you signs that they want to breastfeed, they could be, maybe you're carrying them and they're turning their head towards your chest while they're trying to tell you they want to breastfeed, or they're opening their mouth over and over again. They're trying to show you they want to breastfeed. Or they could be just doing this with their tongue. They're showing they're trying to taste something, so they want to breastfeed. So first of all, you need to know your baby's hunger clues. So you need to know, when my baby is hungry, just study them. You will realize when they're hungry, maybe they cry, or they're hungry, they keep opening their mouth, or they're turning to you, to your chest, showing you they want to breastfeed, or they're pulling you, or pulling things around, or they're picking things and putting them in their mouth, or they're actually putting their fingers in their mouth. So look out for your baby's hunger clues, and when you learn them, please breastfeed your baby on demand. Every time your baby shows you they want to breastfeed, please breastfeed them. Don't have a plan that I'm breastfeeding my baby again at, okay, so I'll breastfeed them at 2, now I'll breastfeed again at 4. No. Don't do that. When you breastfeed on demand, first, you're going to have a healthy baby, a happy baby. You don't want a crying baby, do you? Of course not. So you're going to have a happy baby, a healthy baby, and it's also going to help increase your breast milk supply. It's very important to have enough breast milk for your baby. We all know that, right? You don't want to suffer with a low milk supply. So yes, that's the second habit to incorporate into your breastfeeding journey. The third habit I want to share with you guys is breastfeeding frequently. Now, why am I bringing in breastfeeding frequently after telling you guys to feed on demand? You will notice that some babies do not actually show when they're hungry. Some show, some babies don't. There are some babies who are just so, I don't know if I should call it relaxed or something, but there are babies who will not show you hunger clues. They won't cry, you know. For instance, in the first few months when I just given birth to my baby, he was not to show hunger clues, you know. You would, breastfeed him and just put him there, and I would always have to think about breastfeeding him, and I'm like, okay, for the first month, yes, he used to breastfeed a lot, but for like when he was like 2-3 months, during that time between 2 and 3 months, he used not to show hunger clues. So he would just be there peaceful, he's not crying, he's not showing he's hungry, but I used to make sure I'm breastfeeding him frequently. So every time I would feel like, I think I should breastfeed him again, I would. And when I would, he would take the breast milk, yet he wasn't showing that he's hungry. So yes, sometimes your baby might not show, or sometimes they're actually sick and they do not have appetite or something like that. Yeah, so maybe they're sick and they've lost their appetite, or they're just feeling so weak to do anything. So just make sure that you're breastfeeding your baby as frequently as you can. If they don't want to, they definitely reject. You don't have to force them to breastfeed, but breastfeed frequently as long as they are taking the milk. Okay, the fourth habit I'm sharing with you guys on how to have a smooth breastfeeding journey is, of course, to breastfeed right. So right, I'm talking of the right latch and the right breastfeeding position. Yeah, so there are so many different breastfeeding positions, and it's about you, the mother, and how your baby reacts for you to get the perfect position for you guys. Yeah, so if you're seated, there's what they call the football hold, where you're holding your baby like a football, or you could breastfeed them when you're lying down. So there are different ways of doing it, but make sure you're doing it right. So how do you do it right? First of all, you need to make sure that it's a tummy to tummy kind of situation. Like your baby's tummy should be facing your tummy. Not these things of the baby facing up and you're breastfeeding them. That is a risk of your baby choking, okay? So your baby's tummy should be facing your tummy. The other tip I can share is when you're trying to latch them, because now that's breastfeeding position, tummy to tummy, make sure it's always tummy to tummy, whether you're lying down, whether you're seated, and make sure you're giving them support. You're supporting their back and not holding their neck. Don't hold the baby's neck, just support their back. And then for the latching, make sure it's nipple to nose, nipple to something close to the baby's nose. So for your baby to get the right latch, do not try to get the nipple and put it into your baby's mouth. No, let the baby open their mouth and take in the nipple themselves. So in other words, that's what I'm calling the nipple to nose. So you get the nipple and bring it like close to, your baby's nose. Try to tease around and your baby will open up and try to make sure that the nipple gets into their mouth. So that's what we are calling nipple to nose, and that helps your baby get the perfect latch. When your baby gets a perfect latch, they're going to be breastfeeding well, okay? Without a perfect latch, you're going to get pain. When your baby is breastfeeding badly, without a perfect latch, you're going to get breast pain. You're going to get sores on your nipples because they could even bite you because they're not getting enough breast milk, yeah? So make sure you're in the right position each time and make sure you're giving your baby the perfect latch. Now the fifth, which is also a very, very, very important tip that you should. This is not so common. in UG, but yes, I always preach this gospel of hand expression. So the fifth habit that you should incorporate into your breastfeeding journey is hand expression. Now, what is hand expression? How do you do it? I have so many videos on hand expression. I'm going to share a link in my description on one that shows you how to hand express. Now, with hand expression, it's just about preparing your breasts for breastfeeding and then getting the milk out using your hands. Yeah, so you wash your hands, get a warm cloth, massage those breasts very well, and then you can use your hands to, squeeze on your breasts a little bit, and then the milk will be coming out. So this you can use to just collect milk maybe when you don't have a pump. But hand expression has so many benefits. One, it increases your breast milk supply. Just like skin to skin contact also increases your breast milk supply, hand expression does the same thing, because you're using your hands on your skin. Skin to skin is magical with your child and even with yourself. So your hands on your skin when you're massaging those breasts like this, trying to massage their breasts and then having the milk come out using your hands will help you increase your breast milk supply. And not that alone, if you also want to, have milk to keep aside for your baby to feed on later and you probably don't have a pump, then you can definitely use hand expression to do that. Yeah. Then there are also women who have oversupply of breast milk, like you have a lot of breast milk and it chokes your baby every time they are trying to feed. Even that happens. And when your baby is breastfeeding, they are coughing, they are choking, they are burping each time because they're taking in a lot of air, trying to, they're getting gassy because they're taking in a lot of air while trying to take in that too much milk, swallowing it at the same time. So if you have an oversupply, you can still use hand expression before you start breastfeeding your baby. So before you start breastfeeding the baby, get a clean container and first hand express a little bit of that milk out so that it reduces. And then when it reduces, then you start breastfeeding your baby. You will realize that your baby will breastfeed better than when you get them and then just start breastfeeding them and yet your breast has a lot of milk. Yeah, so hand expression helps you reduce the amount that will be coming out and then you start breastfeeding your baby. And then hand expression also helps with breast engorgement. So there are times that breasts can get really huge, really full of milk, and they are so painful for you as a mother. So to relieve yourself, you can use hand expression to collect that milk out. And if you have engorgement and not work on it first, you also end up with clogged ducts. Now, clogged ducts is when your nipples, like when you have a lot of breast milk and then the nipples close because you're not letting out that breast milk. So when your nipples close, it gets so painful because the milk can't come out. So even in that situation, hand expression helps. Just get that warm cloth, massage the nipples, and then try to squeeze gently. You squeeze the breasts, not the nipples, yeah? So squeeze the breasts gently and have that milk out, and even that will help you feel better. And then also for the moms who do pumping or you're doing exclusive pumping, also hand expression helps. Some moms, when they pump, they get so little breast milk out. But if you will realize when you try to incorporate hand expression into your pumping schedule, so you hand express first, then you connect the pump, you realize you'll be getting more milk and a faster let down. Okay, so yeah, hand expression is that important and you should incorporate it into your breastfeeding journey. And the last tip I'm sharing with you guys is power pumping. So yes, for the moms who are exclusively pumping, there's so many reasons why someone would be exclusively pumping. Maybe you're getting back to work and you have an 8 to 5 kind of job and you're leaving your baby behind, yeah? And you want to breastfeed your baby exclusively, you can still do it by pumping. However, you have to do what we call power pumping so that you increase your breast milk supply. So power pumping is all about pumping as often as you can, which is the same thing that I mentioned before when I mentioned breastfeeding frequently. Now, if you're pumping, then you also have to pump frequently, yeah? So with power pumping, you're going to be pumping often. You could do it like every after an hour, you're pumping. Every after an hour or 1 hour and a half, you're pumping. It will help you increase your breast milk supply, and it will also help you, collect more milk, right? Yeah. And then Also, if you are exclusively pumping, don't forget about the late night pump session. So it is said that our breast milk supply increases between around midnight to about 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. So make sure you don't miss that night pump at around maybe 3 a.m. Many women or many people like waking up at 3 a.m. for prayers. Actually, both Christians and Muslims, there's that belief of waking up at like 3 a.m. for prayers, and how important that 3 a.m. prayer is worth. So if you're waking up for that prayer, you could also wake up and pump. And that pump helps increase your breast milk supply, and it also helps you increase the amount of milk you're going to get out, because at that time your breasts have really let out a lot of milk, and you don't want to miss out on that session because it's going to give you a lot of milk. Okay, so guys, those are the 6 tips or the 6 habits that I wanted to share with you guys today that will help you have a smooth breastfeeding journey and a healthy child. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Now if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new videos. Give that video a thumbs up because I know you like it, and please leave a comment down for me. Tell me what you're incorporating into your breastfeeding journey and how it's helping you. Is it pumping? Is it hand expression? You can check out my Instagram, which is Joanita Salma. Send me a message there and then we can chat. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Bye.